Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Prabhuji, we cannot hear you.
Narayana Namaskritya
Naram Shaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Devim
Devim
Saraswati Vyasam
Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udirayat
Tato Jayam Mudirayat
Ashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Abhatreshu
Abhatreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
Nityam
Bhagavat
Bhagavata
Sevaya
Sevaya
Bhagavati Vattana Shloke
Bhagavati
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Bhaktiri Bhavati Nayistike
Bhaktiri
Bhakti
Bhagavate
Bhavati
Naistiki
Nistiki
Ishvara Parama Krishna
Ishvara
Ishvara
Parama
Parama
Krishna
Krishna
Satchidananda Vigraha
Satchidananda
Satchidananda
Vigraha
Vigraha
Anadiradir Govinda
Anadiradir
Govinda
Govinda
Sarvakarana Karanam
Sarvakarana
Sarvakarana
Karanam
Karanam
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya
Krishnavaya
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumara
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Kararavinde Napadaravindam
Padarvinde Napadarvindam
Mukaravinde Viniveshayantam
Aravinde
Padarvinde
Vatasya Bhadra Sapute Shayanam
Shapatra Shapute Shaya
Shayanam
Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami
Mukundam Asa Smarami
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we have completed 7th shloka, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Can you read the translation, Manu Prabhuji? 7th?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace, H.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Narada Muni continued to speak to King Prachinath He said, "My dear king, any person who works according to the directions of the Vedic scriptures does not become involved in fruitive activities." Hare Krishna. So here Prabhupada is clearly explaining through Narada Muni that who's speaking to King Prachinath that any person who's following the directions of the Vedic scriptures and Shastras does not get tangled in material activities or fruitive activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I think there's a little bit catch here, everyone, that the Vedas here for Vedic scriptures, right? We need to be, because most of the Vedas also taught about Karma Kanda section, but the Vedas been divided into three parts: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. So, Prabhupada is referring here probably Upasana Kanda, which involves Bhakti also. But some of the, for example, the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas would give like results, like you do this, you get this result. You go do this, you get this result. So the result would come, then with that result, that is done, because that may not have any reaction. But something which is not mentioned, Vedic knowledge, right? We do independently think and we carry out not as per the scriptural injunctions, then they bind back us to Karmakanda section, the reactions. We have seen yesterday reading that. Okay? Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, can we say that we should only follow here Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Prabhupada meant?
Yeah, because see, that is general population of the explaining, right? But in this Bhagavad Dharma, the Prema Dharma, what we follow, we just follow the devotional service. Right? Everything we do in presence of Krishna consciousness. So that becomes reactionless. Sometimes what happens, see, Karma Kanda, if you come to Upasana Kanda, has a element of devotional practice. So that won't. But few things. Prabhupada made it very, what you call, very generic here, Vedic. Okay. But if you really go into the Karma Kanda section, right? Some would give what you call reactions also. So that's why we should be very careful what Prabhupada is explaining here. So, but anything not mentioned in the Vedas, so we should be very careful to perform those activities. They bind us back, like reactions. So, but for us to avoid confusion, for us now we are under the umbrella of His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Just follow devotional service to Krishna. That in that case, that there is no any other life for us, because you see a lot of people distinguish material life versus spiritual life. For the devotee, there is nothing like material life. Everything is spiritual. Even when you go to job, when you do mechanical things also, you somehow try to connect to Krishna. And that way we become reactionless. Yeah. Sometimes, how can I connect my child playing basketball or my child playing soccer, right? How I can connect? The amount of discount for the grihasthas is there, that we may not able to directly connect those activities to Krishna consciousness, but majority of the time, when we come, okay, when kid comes from game, eat prasadam. So, and when we go to job also, how I can connect job to Krishna, then whatever money you get, we use for Krishna service. Like that, there is maybe not a direct involved, but the end result of that action would be leading to Krishna consciousness. Like that. Okay. For example, kids going to college, how I can connect that to Krishna consciousness? Yeah, I can connect, because when kids go to college, they become, educated. Especially when the kids are in the school, they have so much work to do, they cannot even able to chant. That is fine, because whatever responsibility they are taking, they have to fulfill. See, God consciousness is like whatever service, for example, you go to job, do perfect job, focus. That is a service to Krishna. And kids, when they're in the schools, especially some educations they have a lot of study. They have really 18 hours per day. In that case, they are not able to chant. That's okay. Student dharma, the dharma there is a student. They have justification what they're doing. That is also devotional service, right? Because when they're focusing, they're doing justice what they're trying to do. That is also devotional service to Krishna, sincerely. Because end of the day, prasadam, and they are from the, and as long as they're not doing any following for regulatory principles, okay, and doing, there is also devotional service. When they grow up, okay, they become a whatever it is, then they serve Krishna. So whatever responsibility take, do perfectly with 100% focus. That becomes okay. And you can say, wouldn't that lead to the reactions? No, because your intention, final ultimate goal is to satisfy Krishna. Anyway, you get experience as you go in your life. You learn these things. Nothing like white and black. Everything. Oh, this is this. There's always a overlapping is there. But we should not be worried too much about those small things. So, oh, I am not doing this. Is not Krishna. Don't put a microscope and look big. Oh, I am not doing this. Is not Krishna. So don't start making your life miserable with those details every day, and don't make families become miserable. Then start families hating us. Oh, my dad is like this. He puts everything like that. Okay, so we should be like little bit liberal as far as the kids are concerned, because we need to give them some controlled sense enjoyment for them, like that. Slowly, eventually will be gradual. That's why these Vedas would give gradual elevation. Whereas Prema Dharma, what we are calling the direct involvement with Krishna. So some people cannot take up immediately. So gradually, okay, we follow Vedas, we do this. Okay, in the next lifetime they become devotees. So the gradual elevation. This what we got from Prabhupada Mahaprabhu is direct devotional service to Krishna. Okay. What shloka next we should do? 8, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, 8. Ravi Prabhuji, you want to take up the shloka?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 4:26-8. Anyatha karma kurvano
Anyata karma kurvano
mana rudho nibhadyate guna pravaha patito
Guna pravaha
nashta prajno vrajati adaha. Synonyms: anyatha, otherwise; karma, fruitive activities; kurvanaha, while acting; mana arudha, being influenced by false prestige;
Influenced by false prestige.
nibhadyate, one becomes entangled;
One becomes entangled.
guna pravaha, by the influence of the material qualities;
Pravaha, by the influence of the material qualities.
patitaha, fallen;
Fallen.
nashta prajnaha, bereft of all intelligence;
Prajnaha, bereft of all intelligence.
vrajati, thus he goes;
Prajati, thus he goes.
adaha, down.
Adha, down.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Otherwise, a person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige.
Otherwise, a
person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige.
Thus, he becomes involved in the laws of nature,
Thus he becomes involved in the laws of nature,
which are composed of the three qualities: goodness, passion, and ignorance.
which
which
are
are composed of the three qualities: goodness, rationality, and ignorance.
In this way, a living entity becomes devoid of his real intelligence
In this way,
living entity
devoid of
becomes
the
devoid
real
of his real
intelligence
intelligence
and becomes perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death.
and
and becomes
perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death.
Thus, he goes up and down from a microbe in stool to a high position in the Brahmaloka planet.
Thus,
He goes up and down from a microbe in stool to a high position in the Brahmaloka planet.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Even Prabhuji, you want to read the lines?
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. There are many important words in this verse. The first is anyatha, otherwise, which indicates one who does not care for the Vedic rules and regulations. The rules and regulations laid down in the Vedas are called Shastra Vidhi. Bhagavad Gita clearly states that one who does not accept the Shastra Vidhi or rules and regulations mentioned in the Vedic scriptures and acts whimsically or puffed up with false pride never attains perfection in this life, nor does he attains happiness or liberation from the material condition. Hare Krishna. Stop here, Prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about important word here, anyatha. So anyatha basically here Prabhupada mentions that who does not follow the Vedic rules and regulations. And rules and regulations basically is nothing but it is also called Shastra Vidhi. And in Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly mentions that we need to follow the Shastra Vidhi or rules and regulations, and we should not act whimsically or in a puffed up way. That is basically because of false pride. And if we do this kind of things, we will basically not attain perfection in life, and we will basically entangled in this bondage, material bondage of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. That's what remember Prabhupada says. Human form of life is not free like animal life. We come with the certain responsibilities to fulfill in this human form of life. Human form of life is like very precarious sometimes because if you don't act as per the Shastra, etc., the reactions would occur immediately. So as per reactions, then we take our next destination. So you should be very careful. Human form of life comes with the human form of life is also given a chance to self-realize, go back to Godhead. But if that is not done, we'll also react, follow the rules and regulations. So that's why we should be very careful in the human form of life. It's not like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do it. No, it's not like that. Animals actually follow rules and regulations with the nature very beautifully. If the cows, their cows only allow eats only vegetarian food. Birds are there. Birds, whatever food made for them, they eat. They also don't accumulate like you and I accumulate. They depend on Supreme Lord all the day, all the time. Then they have sexual activity only when they want to procreate the children. Then only they have it. Otherwise, they don't have that activity. So, in a way, birds are teaching us how we should follow the nature's laws. We are the human beings. We have both extremes. People who follow nicely in Bhagavad Dharma and this. And on another side, we have fruitive active workers. They think they are the controllers, they are the doers, especially Gruhamedis, etc. So human form of life comes with a risky choice. Should be very careful. Who is this Judge Battery's name?
Jitendra Prabhu. Is it Jitendra? No, I requested Jitendra Prabhu to join, Prabhu. I don't know if he's Jitendra.
Jitendra Prabhu. Okay, that's fine.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I cannot judge. So he should speak.
Judge Battery.
Prabhu, can you identify yourself?
Okay. That's why I don't want some anonymous person, something like that. That's fine. Somebody is interested in me. Okay. Let's go. Jagadisima, are you available to read? I see you. Okay. If not, Anila Mataji can read few lines.
Hare Krishna. Purport given by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Jai.
Yah Shastra Vidhim Utri Vartate Kama Bharatah.
I'm not able to hear you what you're talking, Mataji. Voice is, am I correct? My voice is not clear.
Yeah, the voice is breaking, Mataji.
How about now, Prabhuji? Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah.
hear me, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Purport given by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Yah Shastra Vidhim Utri Vartate Kama Bharatah Nasasiddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Rathim. He who discards scriptures, scriptural injunctions, and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Bhagavad Gita 16.1. Thus, one who is deliberately transgressing the rules and regulations of the sutras is simply involving himself more and more in material existence in the three modes of material nature. Human society should therefore follow the Vedic principles of life, which are summarized in Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, life in material existence will continue. Foolish persons do not know that the soul is passing through 8,400 million phases of life. By the gradual...
Mataji, sufficient, Mataji. Yeah, let us first understand this. It's too much of information.
Okay. Here Prabhupada is explaining how a spiritual, path that we follow, how it attains to the supreme destination. If we don't follow and we just own our own, way of doing things, and either we become perfect or we get happiness through it, Prabhuji.
According to if you don't follow, if you discard, it means if you don't follow the scriptural injunctions, we then have a happiness, perfection, or supreme destination. So we are basically one who is deliberately transgressing or who is surpassing the regulations of Shastra, simply involving himself in more and more material existence in three modes of material nature. Human society should therefore follow the basic. So if you don't follow, they're giving consequences. What would happen? Don't follow, then we'll be in the three modes of material nature, and we know what happens when the three modes of material nature affect. That will be again process of old age, death, birth, death, old age, disease. These would be again we will go back into the cycle of birth, this life cycle. Right? So should we?
Prabhu, go on mute.
Which are summarized Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, limited life existence will continue. Foolish persons do not know that soul is passing through 8.4 million species. Right? Yeah. Okay. Jagadisma, if you're available, let me know. Okay. I'm just looking. Kanaya Prabhuji, you want to make a few lines?
Yes, Prabhuji. By the gradual process of evolution, by the gradual process of evolution, when one comes to the human form of life, he is supposed to follow the rules and regulations laid down in the Vedas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the living entity
since time immemorial, is suffering the threefold miseries of material nature due to his demonic attitude, which is his spirit of revolt against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Prabhupada is saying that in gradual process of evolutions, um, eh, when someone's in human form of life, when someone born in human form of life, he's supposed to follow some rule regulations which is laid down by in Vedas. But if he doesn't follow, then he suffers threefold of miseries, and due to the demonic attitude and the spirit of revolt against the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, right. If you're not following means that we are basically negating the nature's laws. And Prabhupada writing that suffering threefold miseries of material nature due to his demonic attitude. What are three folds of material nature?
Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik.
Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Okay. The disturbances caused by your own mind, disturbances caused by neighbors, disturbances caused by material nature. So these are the one that suffer all the time, threefold miseries. But so okay, that's how. Yeah, okay. And Krishna beautifully explained here, right? So as I said, the human form of the life comes with the as I said that you have to follow the rules and regulations. We acquire karmas if you don't following that. Okay. Sundaru Prabhuji, you want to read few lines? You're available.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Krishna also confirms this in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 7. Mamayvamsho jivaloke jivabhutah sanatanaha manasasthanindriyani prakriti sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Every living entity is part and parcel of God. There is no reason for the living entities being put into the miserable threefold condition of material existence, but that he voluntarily accepts material existence on the false pretext of becoming an enjoyer. To save him from this horrible condition, the Lord has given all the Vedic literatures in his incarnation of Vyasdeva. It is therefore said, Krishna Bhuli Sela Jiva Anadi Bahirmukha Ataiva Maya Tare Diya Samsara Dukha. By forgetting Krishna, the living entity has become materialistic since time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy of Krishna is giving him different types of miseries in material existence. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 20, text 117. So here Prabhupada is explaining that the living entities are part and parcel. Means eternal, but it's a small part and parcel. Means fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. But once we come in the contact of these conditions life, we are struggling for all. By all these six senses, which includes mind also. So since every living entity is part and parcel of the God, so there is no reason for living entity to be in the threefold miseries. So which is inherent in this material world, but that can be this is up to us. We can voluntarily accept material existence, or become to become an enjoyer, or to save ourselves from this horrible situation. And since the Lord has given all the Vedic literatures when he descended as a Vyasdeva, so it's up to us. If we are forgetting Krishna, then we become materialistic, and that's how we are from since time immemorial. We are in this condition life. So and following this illusionary energy of Krishna, and there is still hope to get out of all these types of miseries from this material existence by serving the Lord, or developing a devotional service, or developing love to a Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Right. By forgetting Krishna, the living entity has become materialistically since time immemorial. Forgetfulness of Krishna. That's whole. So we are all suffering all these things by just forgetfulness of Krishna. Every living entity, so Paramatma is there, but we ignore it. We ignore him. We listen to ourselves. We think we are the controllers. But Krishna is like, Mamayavam Sajiva Loke Jiva Bhutat. You're a fragmental part of me. But what we do, we identify ourselves as the material nature. There's a problem. We identify our existence as a material nature, then we start suffering. But in fact, you are not the part of the product of the material nature. You are the spirit by spirit. You are the spiritual nature. You have spirit soul present in you. Identify the spirit soul, then everything falls in place. But we think we are the product of the material nature and suffering in the three modes of material nature, conditioned, entangled, completely bewildered. Prabhupada says that like a tossing a ball, material nature plays with us, toss this problem, that problem. We're completely bewildered, completely involved in that, solving one by one, and again entangled. Right? Yeah. The pure base is devotional service to Krishna, coming under the Daiviyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durachayaha. Very, very difficult to overcome my external energy. But if you become my devotee, can easily overcome. That's how it is. So we have no other magic, just surrender to Krishna. That's all. Okay. I'm just read the saying who is for a long time.
Prabhuji, there is two words here. Like we have heard many times, but I want you to expand more. The living in this conditioned world and conditioned life.
What is that?
No, can you expand on this word, Prabhu? Conditioned world and conditioned life.
Right. Everything is conditioned, right? Because we are conditioned by so many things, conditioned by three modes of material nature. Like we condition in the sense that we are just basically following the whatever three modes of material nature are imparting on us. We are not following the dharma, evidence, scriptural evidences, etc. So we are conditioned. Of course, we are conditioned now also, but conditional life is basically the what you call that we'll be subjected to the three modes of material nature and the miseries of the material existence. Then we are completely bewildered, confused. When you become unconditioned, that means you remove. See, condition is like a restrictions. Basically, we put ourselves restrictions, condition. I should do this. I should do with whimsically. Whimsically means that it is coming from nowhere. Whimsical means we think with our own mental concoction and philosophical speculation. Oh, I should do this. I should do. There is no what you call reference to guide. Any guide we are not following. Right? You know, when the Manu Samhita, etc. books, they say human beings are, we should do this, we should do this, we should not do this, we should not do that, and which we should not do that. We think that's a life and will be conditioned. The three modes of nature, and we have no scriptural evidences whatsoever what we do. And what other one? Conditioned and other one?
Conditioned world and conditioned life.
Life. That then when the conditioned put conditioned life is basically mostly even devotees. We also have a conditioned life, but we try to follow the Shastra. Slowly become unconditioned. Slowly drift towards the spirituality that whatever the Vedic principles, Vedic injunctions saying only I should do. That one, that way we are slowly escaping our own mental comforts. Because every householder thinks I am the breadwinner. If I don't work, these people are not going to live. I am this, I am that. That I puts in the illusion constantly. The moment I say I am doing that, we are in the illusion completely. The moment you say it's done by Supreme Lord, then we are the reality. That's the main difference between condition and condition. Condition things, we think we are the doers. If I don't work, nobody is going to eat food. Who are you to say that? It's God has given life. He provides everything necessities for the life. But we think we are because I am working. That's why. Because of me, he got a job. Because of me, he got this one. Who are you? We want becoming instrumental to help them. That's all we should understand. So the ownership should be given to the Supreme Lord, not as we take the ownership. We put ourselves in the center. That is the conditioned life.
Yep.
So, Prabhuji, can we say that, the soul is by default free, but when he comes in the material world, he is influenced by the three modes. That's why he becomes conditioned. So he'll become angry, become agitated. So that is why he's conditioned that way, so that he cannot come out of it unless you do not take the shelter of the Supreme Krishna. Right? We cannot become unconditioned.
You are right, because Prabhupada compares with a water rain drop. When the raindrop in the sky, it is very pure. As it comes down slowly into atmosphere, it gets atmospheric muddy. When it falls on the earth, it becomes muddy because of the earth. It was pure originally. Soul also like pure. When it comes and falls here, then three modes immediately attacks. The three modes we're conditioned. We're confused totally. Okay, you're right, absolutely. Then we identify with this, that. Only to free of that, to free of these three modes, we should be in the devotional service. So that devotional service also, mode of starting from mode of goodness, etc. That is also a condition, but at least there's a launching pad where we should go to Nirguna platform. Devotional service is always in the Nirguna. Okay, yeah, that is the correct definition. I would say yes, correct. We are all originally pure, but we are contaminated consciousness developed by three modes of material nature. But we get bewildered, we confused. That's why the Shastras have been given. Though you are in the material world, no problem. There is a book called Vedas, including Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Hey, do these things, you'll be in the proper way. But we don't accept. That's the problem. False ego develops very heavily the moment we come to the three modes of material nature. I am the doer. I am the doer. That I, which puts you in the center, that kills us. Right? Got the Prabhuji? Right, Prabhuji? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think we have time. Let's see how much left in the paragraph, Prabhuji?
Oh, the very big purport, Babu. Very, very big purport.
Okay, then we'll stop here. Anybody in the round table, let me go to, because I want to take opinion from everyone. Who did not
So,
get
Prabhuji, I have so this human life, as you said, we come with a big responsibility,
right.
and it's we are fortunate to get this form of life.
Yes.
But it also saying we should follow the Vedic scriptures and rules. But there are many. This world is so big, and there are many parts of this world where they have no exposure to the Vedas and the Shastras. So, is that just because of their past deeds that they are put in a situation where they have less chance of exposure to Vedas?
Absolutely. Correct. Because Krishna says in the sixth, Bahunam Janmanamante. Jnanavan mam prapajyate vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After taking many, everybody eventually, see in the 5th chapter what we are reading, everybody comes, but every soul has a journey time. They may come after 10 lifetimes. Okay, and even now also, for example, we claim to be devotees. We may not even make our final destination. We may take some more lifetimes also. It's the evolution of the soul, correct? Some people are exposed. I mean, in the previous lifetime, I could be somebody I was not exposed to Krishna consciousness, but in this lifetime, exposed to. So it's called. There is a story called Jnata Sukruti, Ajnata Sukruti. That's why we take Lord Jagannath into the streets. Why? Because just by seeing Jagannath, they're acquiring some pious credits. They may become devotees in the next lifetime, or they may become devotees in this lifetime. So as a devotees, we are doing all favorable for the human beings to come to Krishna consciousness because we realized it. And some may come, some may not come. Again, that is their karma should also allow. For example, the same family in our families, right? If somebody doesn't follow, what else we could do? Because they still didn't have, and even including ourselves, we comes to Krishna conscious middle 30s, mid 40s, mid 50s, mid 60s. Why I did now we think, oh, why I could not start. Our kids are following their childhood because they are devotees. So it's a complex, various theories. That is right, because when the time comes, then only we come to Krishna consciousness because our past deeds doesn't allow us. Even if you go and distribute Bhagavad Gita, tell somebody, bas hai chale jao, they close the door because they don't know the importance and they did not get a proper time for them.
So as Bharatavashis, we're all very fortunate, right, Prabhuji? So we, in a way, we kind of put in front of the line.
Assuming that if you take up the devotional service, yeah,
Right.
doesn't mean anything. If you Bharatavashi hai, then you are doing all abominable things, then you are violating everything. And an American born, he's following devotee, he can go back to God. Yeah. Bharatavashi by default, lucky, assuming that you follow the devotional practice. Yeah, that brother doesn't mean anything. But we have the more opportunities to learn. That's so beautiful. When taking the birth in India means
Right.
that we have more opportunities, more exposure, more chances.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else on the call want to answer this question? Anybody, Vishaka Mata, you want to say a few words? Anything?
No, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we
Yeah,
crossed.
no,
Yeah, we crossed
I
over.
know. I know. Yeah, let's stop here.
Weekend we can extend, but not on weekdays.
Yeah, definitely. I understand completely. Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.